I recently visited TikTok's HQ and got to meet up with one of our clients in the one-on-one ads mastery mentorship who has done over 7 figures with TikTok. And in today's video, we're going to cover exactly how we were able to get over a 5x ROAS with TikTok ads. And Jordan is going to share the viral secrets and strategies he's using to generate sales with TikTok organically, and how they were able to grow their account to nearly 600,000 plus followers. This video is an absolute must watch and there's so much value that we cover, so let's get right into the interview. And if you haven't seen our TikTok HQ recap video, then I highly recommend checking that video out because we cover so much on the latest updates with TikTok.
Jordan and I were just recently at TikTok's HQ together. What did you think about the event?
Dude, the event was one of the best events that I've been to. I liked the small knit community, got to meet a lot of great people, and some of the things they talked about were fantastic. So it was all around a prime location right there in New York City. So I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, New York was fun. There's so many cool people there and a lot of new insights that we got to cover with TikTok ads and what they're releasing.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, it was great.
Cool. Yeah, so Jordan, do you want to give a little bit of a background on who you are, what you do?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so my name is Jordan Kilgour. I co-founded a company called GameNetics. I'll be showing you guys a little bit more about this here soon. We've done just under 8 figures in sales. We started in 2015, then also started an e-commerce agency called X Factor, where we help e-commerce brands scale with TikTok ads. And we also do coaching with our coaching program called EcomX. We help dropshipping brands and business owners on how to make scaling simple, primarily through TikTok. So you can see a common theme. TikTok's a pretty common theme across the board. And we're very passionate about having a big focus on TikTok.
TikTok's going crazy for so many different brands, and
oh yeah,
it's absolutely insane that the results that people are getting right now. And like with y'all did roughly over what, 500,000 just on TikTok ads alone?
Yeah. That was a little bit ago now. We've done a bit more since, but even on that 500,000 we've done with the TikTok ads manager, I think that was in 2023 and 2022. We were able to maintain over 5 ROAS, and Chase was able to help us out a little bit with getting some of those results. So
That's
it's
awesome.
it's pretty crazy, yeah.
And so, what is GameNetics? Explain what that company is and what y'all do there.
For sure, yeah. So GameNetics is a custom controller company. So it's an e-commerce brand. I'll show you guys the product here. Don't know how many of you out there are gamers, but we've kind of designed this whole product experience for the end user, where it's kind of provides that wow factor, right? I'm sure Chase talks to you guys about, creating a product that really stands out, and especially on social media, it's a really important part. So as you open it up, you kind of get this experience where you have the name of the customer on the card. And then inside of here, what's really cool is there's like a personalized note that goes to you from the team. And then it's actually hand signed by the controller technician who builds your controller.
Amazing.
And so there's that personalized aspect to it, right? And then inside, which is, we'll get into the product here, is this really nice nylon mesh case. I've got the GameNetics logos on the zips. And then inside, this is kind of where all the anticipation comes to an end, where you get to reveal and see your custom build.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's a custom controller company. You can customize a PlayStation or an Xbox controller. You can get like modifications on them, like back buttons and mouse click triggers. And what's cool about us is what we tried to design the company for is to be the world's most customizable controller builder. So you can change every individual button on your controller. Yeah.
That's awesome. So how much with the unboxing and product experience, how much does that impact people posting online and sharing y'all's company?
Yeah, it's a really good question, because I think that if people want to be successful online, focusing on this aspect is a very key part. Because think about it, right? If you're able to make an experience so powerful for the end user that they just naturally want to show it off because they're proud of what they have and what they own, then it makes it spread by word of mouth so much easier. So the impact that it's had on our brand is astronomical. I believe it's one of the big reasons why we blew up with our organic presence on TikTok back in January of 2022, and how we've garnered so many views. I mean, we have 1.1 million followers across all of our socials in the last 2 years alone. Maybe it's a bit more than 2 years now. and we've generated over 1 billion views across all of our shorts.
1 billion.
So it's had a very heavy
If anybody
impact.
missed that,
Yeah.
that's 1 billion
B.
views with a B.
Yeah.
And that's insane because most people don't get that many views on, TikTok. Like some people will go viral one time, but y'all have really nailed the strategy for being able to consistently get videos to go viral. What's the secret sauce? What are people missing whenever they're making a viral video?
Yeah, that's a good question too. And I think that, as you and I both know, the platform's definitely evolved over the last couple of years. There's been a lot of changes. There's been more competition, more content, right? And so, back in 2022, I think that there was a very big window of opportunity for a lot of people.
Huge.
Yeah, and the algorithm just built different. We all kind of know that. And so, going viral, I think comes primarily through the experimentation of creating content around your brand. Like it's about taking action as well. Now, there's principles that you can apply for going viral. One of the most important things is that, and we notice this among accounts who, do go viral. They don't have a lot of followers, right? It's not like Instagram and Facebook, right? TikTok, if you make a really good video that resonates or connects and is authentic to the audience you're trying to reach, you can get a lot of views. And that's where I think the core of it really comes from, is the ability to let down your guard, not try and create commercials, not try and create this kind of refined image. Like you really want to be down to earth, authentic. And one thing that we've noticed that has been very impactful is the entertainment factor. So for any business, if you can kind of be less serious, it generally is easier to be a bit more authentic and resonate with the audience. Like for example, right? This is a perfect example. You walk into a car dealership to buy a car, right? If the car salesman is very cold and serious, you've got your walls up. You don't want to share anything. He's there trying to sell you.
Sure.
But as soon as he cracks a joke, or as soon as he kind of breaks that like barrier where you crack a smile or you laugh with them, all of a sudden you have this like different connection with the person. And that's the same thing that we're trying to do with content, is we want to break that wall where normally people might be a bit more reserved and say, oh, these guys are actually kind of funny, or that's kind of interesting. And I like the way they did that, It's not all about just selling their product and shoving it down their throat. So one last thing I'll mention about the virality aspect is with short form content, you've got to keep people's attention. We live in a world today where attention is continuously becoming less and less. And so those first 3 seconds are so important. And some of the ways we've done that is, for example, we've taken the product. You got to get creative. We've taken the product and we've covered it in weird substances. So for example, there's one video that's gone viral where we cover this in peanut butter, like full peanut butter.
Okay.
And in the first few seconds of the video, the camera or the phone pans into the controller and it's covered in peanut butter. And so instantly people are hooked, like, what the hell is this? Yeah, exactly. And then from there, strategically, what we did is we clean up the controller and then we customize it. So at the end of the video, you can see, oh, I can actually get a custom controller from these guys. So that came from making hundreds and hundreds of TikToks. And so I think the action itself of just getting out there and accepting that, hey, I'm a brand, I'm a business. Let's just start making content. Let's show inside of our business. Let's show people the personalities. Let's show us shipping out orders. And then you can kind of get a feel and understanding of like what works for you by applying some of the things we just talked about too.
I love it. Yeah. So I always say, like, when you're filming a video, you want to think as if you're FaceTiming a friend, a family member, and explaining the product to them.
Exactly.
How would you explain it to them versus getting on camera and like trying to just promote? You want to be able to have the authenticity, be able to film the right video, have the right clips and cuts. Y'all are really good at being able to get the timing down too with your videos. So just about every clip is like, just a few seconds. There's transitions. There's even, just like we are on the live right now, there's a top screen, a bottom screen, one's showing the controller, another person talking. It keeps people engaged, and that's a big thing. And one thing is to go viral. Another one is to be able to go viral and get sales. So was there ever a time when y'all were posting videos and going viral and not seeing any purchases?
Yeah, I do have one particular instance where this happened. And I think Chase brings up a really good point, because many of you listening who are trying to go viral, it's a really important aspect to understand, because, you can put a lot of time and effort into a particular video, but then you're like, where are the sales? Why didn't that happen? And so we learned the hard way there was a particular instance where we created this viral trend. It was so weird. I did a video standing outside of Walmart doing this. It's called party mode. And so the idea behind this party mode was, if you guys remember back in the day where you could put in cheat codes in your controller and you'd be able to get certain things unlocked like in the game or whatever the case may be. We did this like cheat code thing where we put in a series of button clicks on the controller, and then the colors of the buttons would start cycling through like RGB lights. But it was all a post-production thing. It wasn't actually like a real thing.
Okay.
And so we went viral on one of the videos because it was an idea we had, and we made dozens and dozens of those party mode videos because they were just going viral. But what we noticed, comparison to the peanut butter video, for example, where we actually showcased the custom controller being done, we noticed that resulted in a lot more conversion. So just because you go viral, it doesn't mean sales. For the party mode viral video, for example, idea we had, it was entertaining. It got people to look and watch and try it out for themselves. Like, people were like sharing it. There were pages that were like trying to prove it wrong, right? Because we never told people that was fake for like months. We led this on for like so long. And we never really talked about our custom controllers. It was just more of, hey, do this cheat code, your controller changes color. That's it. We didn't even have a product that did party mode. Like, if we would have sold a product with buttons that changed color, we could have monetized that really well. So there is some thought process that needs to go behind. If we approach this viral angle, if we try this, you've got a viral video already and you're trying to replicate it, have a way to discreetly or very smoothly introduce your product in a way that's not like, hey, buy this, then that's the perfect combination. And it's different for every brand. You really just have to have that creativity behind it in order to execute. And that creativity, I think, also comes by taking action. Because I think, Chase, you know this too, a lot of people sit there like, I don't know how to go viral. I don't know how to make content. I'm bad at X, Y, and Z. But through the action and doing it, your creativity will evolve as you make content. You'll get ideas based on a video that maybe you would classify as like not a good video. And then that kind of evolves into then going viral. That's exactly what we did.
That's awesome. And how much are y'all like averaging, how much organic sales, compared to the overall sales volume you do? Like, what does an average video produce? Like, just for reference, like how much money could people make organically just by posting?
Yeah. So as you know, it's hard to track exact video sales through one particular organic post. But I mean, we would see huge spikes when we would go viral on certain, viral videos. We'd see a spike of anywhere between, 10 to 100,000 over the month, just based on a couple of viral videos.
Just off of viral videos.
Yeah.
No ad spend. 10 to 100K per month. Yep. Depending on how viral, how well it converts.
Yeah.
Some of these videos are doing that.
Well, let me tell you this, Chase, is when we first started on TikTok, we weren't actually doing any ads. We were doing all organic. And so for those listening, we started posting TikToks in around the middle of January of 2022. And at the time we were like, I saw the opportunity that TikTok presented. I was like, we have to go all in on this platform. Forget Facebook, forget Instagram, forget YouTube. We're going all in on TikTok. And so at the time, I was more of the marketing content guy. My brother was more of the operations, make sure orders got out on time. That's how our dynamic would work. And so myself and our creative director at the time, I was like, let's just make as many TikToks as we can. We also had another videographer. And we were making 4 to 5 TikToks a day, like no joke. Like, it was like almost all that we did during that time. And for almost 6 weeks, we were making between, 2, 3, 4, 5 TikToks a day.
That's amazing.
And we went from zero. No one knew our brand, right? Because a little bit of context here, when we launched the brand, we completely rebranded. We had no packaging before, which could be a whole nother conversation about brand. We completely rebranded, had new social media followings. We launched, and within 6 weeks, we did $71,000 through
awesome.
Shopify, all through TikTok organic. And then the rest of the year, we did around $500,000 through organic as well. So it was pretty crazy. Big impact organic had.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of iterations you have to go through with the website. It could be the packaging, it could be the videos, the creatives, everything that you're doing. There's always improvement, changes, tweaks until it really starts consistently converting and scaling up. And
Yeah.
so y'all were seeing the growth on the organic side. And then talk to me about what y'all started doing on TikTok ads.
Yeah, for sure. So we started TikTok ads around April-ish of 2022. I had some experience prior with, some meta ads as well. I had run, previous agencies before. This was about probably 3 or 4 months before I think I met you and I found your program, Chase. We were doing around like 2.2 to 3 ROAS roughly on our campaigns. So they were doing okay, but we knew that we had to increase those results. So we were testing campaigns. What we were doing, we were running probably a little bit more of a traditional sales type ad. So what we were doing is basically we would have the product in hand,
right.
And Chase referenced this a little bit earlier, where we had the split screen of showing the controller and then showing what the inputs did on the top half of the screen. And we talk about all the features of the controller, the quality, the packaging, the details and all that. And we ran those as ads, and they were working pretty well. And what we were trying to find is like, how do we make them a bit more authentic? And we were kind of stuck at like 2.5 to 3 ROAS, I would say, during this time. And that's where we were like, okay, let's go out and find someone who has a bit more experience doing this stuff and see if we can get better ideas on campaign structure and creative guidance. And that's when I found you.
And so we started going through some of the TikTok ads. We were optimizing campaigns. And one of the things we did was TikTok has this creative tool where you can analyze, the difference in creatives. And then we were noticing, certain, like PlayStation versus Xbox,
Yep.
right? These two different audiences, and segmenting them out rather than, just having everything and just putting up a lot of random testing. Is more like, okay, we see that this is working.
Yep.
These specific creatives are going well. And then segmenting out those campaigns. And then all of a sudden, what do we start seeing with, it was like the PlayStation audience started taking off to 3,
Yes.
4, 5x.
Yep.
And then spin started rising, and y'all are like, let's scale up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. It's so funny having this conversation with you, because it's taking me back to, I remember having this conversation with you, like segmenting out the audiences, and, we were like, okay, how is PlayStation going to compare against Xbox? And we started putting, instead of having like a PlayStation and Xbox controller in a creative, we only had those specific controllers in creatives targeting that audience. And so a lot more relevant. Yeah, exactly. And so what's funny is the PlayStation audience has continued to perform to this day. And we kind of transitioned, I don't know when it was exactly, but as you know, like the ad platforms have kind of evolved a little bit, especially with AI. We do a lot of just open campaigns now without any targeting. We let the creative do the
100%.
targeting. And to this day, we run basically only PlayStation campaigns because they just convert the best. They just outperform Xbox, but we still get sales for Xbox
Sure.
controllers, but we advertise PlayStation. So now we're doing, we get campaigns, like our average campaign is doing between 4.5 to 6 ROAS,
For
during
12
Christmas.
months straight.
Yeah.
Like no variation, results maintained.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of people miss, is whenever they're not getting consistency, it's usually due to the fact that they're either not doing enough testing to find out what's working, or whenever they run the test, they then don't analyze the campaigns in a way to where they know exactly what worked from that test. One thing is just putting up creatives and saying, oh, this one's working, let's run this one more. Mm-hmm. But you have to ask the question, why? Is it the creative? Is it the creative combined with the actual audience? Is it the structure of the video? What's doing it? Mm-hmm. You have to analyze all these different things. And then once you're able to extract those numbers, and you can see, okay, we're getting really consistent 5x, 6x ROAS here. And then you scale that up and then keep what is working going on a continuous basis and just dropping in new creatives consistently every month. Next thing you know, you're averaging 5 throughout the entire year. Mm-hmm. And lots of people have a huge drop off. They either don't update their creatives, or they just don't know what changes to make. Yeah. So the consistency factor comes in knowing exactly what's working and then sticking to it.
Yeah, it's
a
true.
Big piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And so throughout that time, were y'all leveraging organic videos? Would you take a viral video, add it into the TikTok ads? What was some of the strategy? Was it a different, were the creatives totally different? Did you customize them only for ads?
Yeah, good question. So we did have a lot of back and forth with you know, we kind of had a bit of a hit or miss with using, you know, Spark ads or using viral videos to then use as Spark ads to run as ads. And we actually noticed that at the time, the viral videos just weren't quite hitting it the same as the videos of just demoing the product, right? Because I think that, and you could probably agree with this, is demonstrating how the product functions and works to give people a bit of a vision of like, hey, if I own this, this is what it's going to be like.
Product demonstration video.
Yeah. It conveys so much more power and conversion than anything else. And so I think that for a while there, we had those videos still continue to do very well. And if we skip forward to say, let's say last year, even mid last year, we started doing some of the peanut butter, you know, covered controller videos, Pop-Tart covered controller videos. And we tested those and we noticed they still didn't convert as well as I would have liked them to. But we have had a few since then where we talk about the custom controller at the end of the video, like we cleaned up and customize it. With those videos are converting a lot better. So again, speaking to what we were discussing a little earlier is you've got to have ability to have that connection to the product in a way that's subtle enough where it's not in your face,
right?
But you've drawn them in with that attention grabbing hook, you know, because like you run an ad with like a covered peanut butter control, you're going to get a lot of weirdos, you know, looking at that video. So, you know what I mean? It has an impact on like ad performance,
yes.
Optimizing it.
So
yeah.
One thing's entertainment. We know if you can get the right entertainment, the right engaging hook, you can go viral. And if you have the right call to actions and, you know, the product actually displayed in a way in those organic videos, you can get sales from it. With the ads, we're seeing, you know, being more direct with it while still being entertaining, but keeping it product focused, product demonstration videos. We know these are, you know, formats that convert on TikTok ads, where product comparisons, where you're comparing it against what they're currently doing versus what they could have. Like those are other formats. And I think a lot of people need to understand that these formats are pretty universal across a lot of different businesses, right? They might say, you know, we don't sell gaming controllers, but a product demonstration is for any product. You just need to know how to structure the video. You have to have the hook. The clips have to be organized in a way where you can fully, you know, visualize exactly how the product's being used, what the benefits are, why you should buy it, and then a strong call to action at the end of the video.
Yeah.
And people
it's
think
true.
TikTok's, you know, for lower priced items. What are y'all currently priced at?
Average order value is $190 to $200.
There you go. People are doing it all day long on TikTok. They're spending hundreds of dollars on a product. We see it with so many different brands. Seat covers, they're averaging 200 AOVs. Y'all are at 190. So, you know, people are willing to put up the money if the video, you know, if they find value in it, if they engage, and you can get a lot of sales by doing that. So what are y'all's goals for this year? What's the plan?
Yeah, great question. So I wanted to highlight this a little bit earlier too. This will segue right into that question. During November, December, and January of 2023, going into the beginning of this year in 2024, we absolutely destroyed our previous TikTok ad results. I mean, we went all in. Like we analyzed all of our previous creatives, some of the suggestions and creatives all the way back to when, we were working together with the ad account. And we basically, put even more effort into increasing quantity, because we knew we wanted to scale, right? So we had first is finding that proven creative that works and converts. Then it's iterating on that and expanding out that creative pool that you have to be able to put inside of the ad account and run those campaigns. And we were ready. We were ready for November. So November, December, and January, we did just shy of $750,000 in 3 months. We did primarily most of that through TikTok and Meta. We did, I think it was just under or just over $500,000 in attributed sales to the TikTok and Meta platform. And what we were doing is this is something we can also talk about, Chase, is repurposing TikTok styled ads to Meta as well, which is our strategy. Works so well. And so we had a huge influx. And by the way, the average ROAS was over 7. It was like 6.5 with Meta and TikTok combined. It was around 6.5 average over those 3 months.
I love it.
Yeah.
So that's insane results.
It's crazy. And we were mind blown. We just tried to give it everything we got. And because of that, and this goes to our goals for this year, we were so overwhelmed. Like we had to hire, like we were hiring people like during December. We were trying to hire people in January. We got backlogged pretty bad because it's a custom product. So, you know, if you guys don't know, like all of these products, we have some pre-builts, but every part is actually customized to the user. And we have like a controller builder on our website where you can do that. And so we were making custom orders. Our build times went out to like 4 to 6 weeks. And then it just kept getting worse. So we were like 6 or 8 weeks out from building controllers. So we've been playing catch up all this year. We had to scale way back. And so now we're starting to scale back up. We're on top of orders, you know, 1 to 2 week ship times now. We definitely learned a lesson to be a bit more prepared maybe for this Q4. And our goal is by this year, we want to be able to hit around 2 to 3 million. I think we can still do that as long as we can have the right people in place and we have enough controller technicians and people in our shipping department. So that's kind of the goal for this year.
I love it. I see it all the time with brands we're working with. They'll come in, they'll start getting insane results, start to scale up, and then it's always the inventory that starts to break. The logistics, the realization of this is going so well, it's amazing, and then the moment where it's, wait, we have to fulfill all this now. And that's like another thing. You have to have those partners or those key people on the back end who can help service. You have to have pre-order strategies or sold out strategies and know how to leverage that for the transition so you can continue that growth. And
yeah, exactly.
It's one of the crazy parts of, you know, scaling up. And what are y'all doing with scaling? How are the budgets working? Are y'all increasing by 2 times? Is it 20%? What's the number?
Yeah. So if I'm to reference back to like how we scaled during, you know, kind of Q4 of last year, and right now we're approaching it a little bit like slower. We're not going too aggressive right now. But the way we were scaling, we plan to do this same scaling strategy going into, you know, building into the end of the year. So what we were doing is basically we were increasing budgets, usually around 50 to 100%. So like if we were seeing good results within 3 to 4 days, 5 days, we'd increase budget like 50 to 100%, depending on basically our KPI, which was our ROAS. That was the most important metric for us. And so we would scale it around, you know, 50 to 100%, and we just kind of keep doing that every 3 to 5 days, or we just kind of let the campaign run out because typically we're doing a new campaign refresh every 2 to 3 weeks, roughly, I would say on average. And so we were kind of following that main strategy. And then what we started doing when we were scaling is like, okay, we've had a previously successful campaign. We did it at $100, $200 a day. Let's bump up this one and see if we can do it at $300 a day with these, you know, similar creatives. So we'd up the budget to 300, start there, then scale that as well. And then when we got into the heat of November and December, and we were really trying to maximize on one Black Friday, and then, you know, Christmas sales, and New Year's sales, the crazy times, we did something that people are probably pretty familiar with, which is surf scaling. So what we did is basically every 2 to 3 hours during that day, we would increase budget 100% or decrease budget 100% of where we're at. So we were getting up to, you know, I think at one point we had like a $10,000 to $15,000 budget on some of our campaigns during the day on Meta and TikTok, and we were just surf scaling these campaigns. So that's like the strategy we used in order to get to doing, you know, $750,000 and doing it very profitably.
I love it. And what are some of the things you would recommend if someone wants to be able to, you know, get results with TikTok ads if they haven't tested them before?
Yeah. You know, I talk with a lot of people, you know, you and I both, we talk with a lot of, you know, new brands or new companies who are getting started on TikTok. And I think it can be a really big challenge for people because I think the mindset going into TikTok and what we've learned over the years, not only with our own brand, but just being able to work with other brands is the organic presence has such a big impact on how the ad results come through in the beginning. And so if you don't have an organic presence on TikTok, then it makes it a little bit more difficult to really get started and really start seeing those results that you want. I think Meta, it just has a bit more maturity to the platform, I think, that I think influences in a way where it's maybe quote unquote a bit easier to get sales out of the gate without much of a following.
100%.
With TikTok, if you're starting out, let's say, you know, if you have an organic presence, get on it now because you're going to have a massive advantage against, you know, all the other competitors.
Huge advantage.
Yeah.
You'll know creatives, you'll see what's working, and you're going to have a base to work with once you go into TikTok ads.
Yeah, exactly. But for brands who don't have a presence there, it's very important that you learn quickly how to make good TikToks. And so I think that it comes with a lot of creative exploration in the beginning. It comes with a lot of testing and really trying to find that creative style that converts and resonates with your customers. And not only that, but also, you know, when you start a new ad account, right, you're starting with no data in the account. So you've got to build that up, right? So, you know, typically in the beginning, you could try running a purchase conversion campaign, but typically sometimes it's a little bit harder for that to convert. So you might start with like a video views campaign, get people coming in, and then move that to an add to cart campaign, get, you know, 10, 25, 50 different add to carts, and then move it to a purchase conversion in the beginning. But 100%, if you're doing TikTok ads, find a way to also start your organic presence because it has such a big impact.
Boom. Get everything testing on organic, and then once you have a good cadence going, you're seeing people respond, you can see what their objections are, you work in those into the video styles, refine your editing strategy, and then eventually launch the TikTok ads, and it's going to be a much smoother transition.
Yeah, and by the way, we're not talking about the elephant in the room, right? I mean, you and I both know the power of TikTok Shop. I mean, this is by far one of the biggest opportunities that everyone here has to start a TikTok shop. You don't need to have 1,000 followers. You can start it out of the gate. As long as you're not drop shipping, you know, you can fulfill on 2-day delivery. You can actually make that happen, right? So this is a huge opportunity for TikTok Shop. We're running really good TikTok Shop campaigns, and that is also having an impact on overall performance with, you know, organic, right? Like, I don't know if you talk about this much, Chase, but we see heavily with the brands we're working with where if you just link a product on your post, when you make a post, it's getting 5-10 times more views than just a normal post. Take advantage of that. You know what I mean?
TikTok's pushing out TikTok Shop. They want people to buy. They're offering incentives. It's growing very quickly. And whenever we look at accounts, you know, pretty consistently, if they're running TikTok Shop ads and they have the, you know, product cards, the interactive add-ons, they're very consistently seeing, you know, 4 to 7x return on ad spend day in and day out just by cycling in those creatives and staying on top of TikTok Shop. It's another distribution channel that a lot of people miss out on.
Yep, it's true. And I remember, I don't know if you remember, you did an interview with Alex at the TikTok event, and he told me, we said the same thing. TikTok Shop is going to become the next Amazon 100%. FBA, and I wholeheartedly believe that.
100%. Well, I love it. This has been a ton of value. I'm sure so many people got a ton of notes from this. And having gone through the mentorship, who would you recommend it to? Who is it for?
Yeah, good question. So Chase is really good at being able to advise on not only campaign structure, but also creative. I think Chase, where he stands out is his ability, because he has such a wide experience with not only brands he's worked with, but also his clients, just understanding and seeing so many creatives all the time. I think that that's really where, you know, he provides a lot of value. And so for brands who are like trying to figure out their creative strategy and really trying to understand like what they need to do in order to scale, it most likely comes down to your creative. And so I would say that brands who are struggling to figure out their creative, they're struggling to find ways to film more creative and how to approach that. If you're struggling with your ROAS or your return, those brands I think would benefit most from the mentorship.
100% agree. Absolutely love it. Where can people find you and GameNetics?
Yeah. So here on Instagram, at Jordan Kilgauer, and then GameNetics, you can also find GameNetics.com. So I can show you guys here while I'm talking here, GameNetics.com. And then, on YouTube as well, just Jordan Kilgauer. So,
boom.
Yeah.
Awesome. Everybody should go get a gaming controller.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much for hopping on the live. That was super amazing. And we'll have to do another one of these soon.
Yeah, for sure, man. Sounds good. Thanks, Chase.
Awesome. Absolutely.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed that interview with Jordan. He's been absolutely crushing it inside of the mentorship. And if you are interested in joining our Ads Mastery one-on-one mentorship, then I highly recommend booking a call down below to see if you qualify. And once again, it's your favorite digital marketer here, Chase Chappell. Cheers and bye, y'all.